welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about Korean skincare for beginners and basically just how you go about building out a skincare routine, and I'll also be sharing some of my product recommendations. Quick disclaimer before we get started, I'm not a dermatologist or an esthetician. I am just a skincare enthusiast who's had a chance to try a lot of different products in the past. I've also had a lot of crap happen to my skin over the last decade or so, so I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of generally what works well, at least for me, and I just want to share it with you guys in hopes of helping you guys take care of your skin and hopefully avoid any problems that I went through. So yeah, I just want to get that out of the way. So pretty much all the products I'm going to be talking about are available on stylevana, which is an online retailer for a lot of Asian beauty brands that I've worked with in the past, and I'll be including descriptions and links to all of them down below because they offer international shipping, so in case you end up wanting to try any of them out, I'll be able to have easy access down there. And I'll also include my own discount code for stylevana in case you end up wanting to purchase something and want to save a little bit of money. Alright, so when it comes to getting started with skincare, the first thing you need to do is actually to identify what your skin type is, as well as what sort of skin concerns you have. So some examples of skin types would be like dry skin, oily skin, or combination skin. And some examples of skin concerns would be like acne, wrinkles, or texture, stuff like that. So personally, I have combination skin, meaning that I do get oily in my T-zone, but I also experience dryness on my cheeks and then random dry patches here and there. And then my main skin concerns are typically just fighting my occasional breakouts and also starting to target some fine lines and signs of aging, because I am 23 now, still very young, but prevention is key. So the products that I end up using typically target those skin concerns while also not making my skin excessively oily or dry. So now that we've identified our skin type and skin concerns that we want to focus on, we can start thinking about what products to include in our skincare routine. So generally speaking, you actually want a pretty simple foundation for a skincare regimen, because basically you don't want to be adding in unnecessary products that might overwhelm your skin, and you just want to make sure that at the end of the day, every product that you're using does serve a specific purpose. So the main three areas that you want to start with are really just cleansing, moisturizing, and SPF, and that sort of is the holy trinity of skincare, and everything else that you include was pretty much supplemental. And I know that might sound a little bit surprising because especially a couple years ago, I remember it was super trendy to have 10 steps. Some people did 20 step skincare routines, and it was super popular in K-beauty and stuff. But quite honestly, I think a lot of people have realized that is a bit excessive, and there's just been a general shift to more minimal skincare routines, and I think that's really a good direction to go in, and also a good place to start if you're just getting into skincare. So when it comes to cleansing, you definitely want to be implementing double cleansing. If you don't know what double cleansing is, as the name would suggest, it's basically just the practice of cleansing your skin twice. So first you'll start off with an oil-based cleanser that you will use on dry skin, which will melt and break down all the SPF, makeup, and just kind of gunk built up on your skin throughout the day. I find that using an oil cleanser first is the most effective and gentle for removing makeup, especially tough waterproof eye makeup. And on top of that, I've also found that by using oil cleanser over the long term, it's really good at also improving skin texture, because it does loosen up a lot of the clogged pores, and over time it kind of just smooths it all out. And after rinsing off your oil cleanser, you want to just go in with a water-based cleanser, and that'll just remove the dirt and any leftover residue, and afterwards you should be squeaky clean and very good to go for the next step. So the two oil cleanser recommendations I would have are the Heimish All Clean Balm as well as the HadoLabo cleansing oil. So the Heimish one is actually a cleansing balm, which I actually prefer to an oil, because a balm I find to be less messy to work with, because you basically just scoop it out with a spatula, and then it'll start melting after you put it onto your skin, and so it's a lot easier to manipulate and you will not get oil all over the place. I feel like the Heimish cleansing balm is a really good one to start with because it's affordable, but it's also super gentle, no frills, and it's very effective at just doing its job and taking off all the makeup. And as for the HadoLabo cleansing oil, this one is super lightweight, doesn't cause any irritation, and rinses off cleanly along with all the makeup that it removes. So if you're looking for an oil cleanser, I would definitely recommend both of these, and they're good for all skin types. So when it comes to using an oil cleanser, you want to go ahead and apply it directly to your skin while it's dry, and then work it all over your face and your eye area to break down the makeup and SPF. Your body heat will end up emulsifying the product into a liquid, and you might look like you have panda eyes if you're wearing a lot of eye makeup, but that means it's done its job and it's melted everything off. Afterwards, all you need to do is rinse off with water, and then you'll be good to go for your water-based cleanser. One thing to keep in mind is that not all oils are made to be oil cleansers. So just because you have like coconut oil in your, kitchen cabinet or olive oil, don't be using that on your face. I've been guilty, back in like middle school, where I tried to remove like super heavy waterproof makeup with like freaking olive oil, and it just did not come off. So do not be doing that. There's a greater chance that you'll end up clogging your pores, or you'll just end up causing irritation on your skin. So just stay away from your kitchen when looking for oils, and definitely get some specifically formulated for skin cleansing oils. So when it comes to water-based cleansers, I have 3 product recommendations I want to share with you guys. The first being Krave Beauty's Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser. So this one is super gentle and comes in the form of a gel, which is good for all skin types, but I feel that gel was especially suitable for oily skin types. So if you do have oilier skin, I would really recommend this as your cleanser. So the next cleanser I have is from Cerave, which is not a Korean brand, but it is a lot more accessible in the States, and their hydrating facial cleanser I found is just really perfect for like combo / like normal skin types, and I just really love it and want to include it in here as a recommendation. But this one is also super gentle, effective, and it definitely won't leave your skin dry or feeling stripped. And finally, the last cleanser I would recommend is from Sioris, and it's their Cleanse Me Softly Milk Cleanser. And this one is particularly suitable for dry skin, I feel, because it is in the form of a cream, which is typically a lot more moisturizing. And I've been using this recently because winter is approaching and the air is getting a lot more dry, and I really love it. So if you have drier skin, but you want to make sure you're still getting good clean, I would definitely recommend this one. So none of the cleansers that I mentioned really foam up, except for the Krave Beauty one, and even that one, it's like very tiny little bubbles. So if you're having a hard time distributing the product all over your face, one thing that I would recommend for you to use is a like silicone little scrubbing pad. These are super gentle and super affordable, and all you need to do is just apply the cleanser directly onto the pad after you wet your face, and it'll really help just like distribute the product more evenly all over, and it'll also help you get like a little bit of a deeper clean. So definitely look into that. Another tip for cleansing is to actually limit yourself to washing your face only 2 times a day. This is because cleansing can actually be one of like the most stripping parts of your skincare routine, so you definitely don't want to be overdoing it. You also only want to be double cleansing in the evening, because that's when you'll actually have buildup and product to take off your face, whereas in the morning you can actually just go in with water or your gentle water-based cleanser and you should be good to go. So the next step after cleansing is actually optional, and it's using a toner. And I personally really like incorporating a toner into my skincare routine because it's a really good way to deliver some additional beneficial ingredients. Moisturizer also tends to work better when applied onto slightly damp skin, so following up with a toner beforehand is actually good for kind of prepping the skin for moisturizer. My favorite beginner-friendly toner is from Etude House's Soothe and Jung line, and it's their pH 5.5 Relief Toner. I really love this one because it's fragrance-free, moisturizing, and also super easy to use and affordable. And all you need to do is pour out some of the product onto your palms, kind of spread it out a bit, and then pat it all over your face and neck, and it should leave it very soothed and hydrated. So after cleansing and maybe toning your skin, you definitely want to be going in with a moisturizer. And following up with a moisturizer after cleansing is just super key, because after washing your face, your skin will definitely be a little bit stripped and it definitely needs to be rehydrated. So I have 2 moisturizer recommendations, the first being iUnik Centella Calming Gel Cream. So this one is super lightweight and it's probably best for those with oilier skin, but if you're looking for something a little bit heavier, I would recommend the Illiyoon Ceramide Auto Concentrate Cream. But this one is super good for sensitive skin because it's fragrance free and it'll also absorb into the skin really easily and take care of those dry patches. I found both these moisturizers to work really well under makeup, and they're both non-comedogenic, which means that they won't clog your pores, so you don't have anything to worry about when you're working into your skin. Moisturizing is a super important step in your skincare routine, so make sure you're not skipping out on it even if you have oily skin, because if anything, by not moisturizing, your skin will actually try and overcompensate by producing more oil, and you'll kind of just end up in this very bad cycle. So definitely be moisturizing morning and night to make sure you can avoid that. And finally, we have the last and arguably most important but also most dreaded step in the skincare routine, which is SPF. I think it's definitely easiest to want to skip sunscreen in your skincare routine because it doesn't produce like immediate results. However, this is by far probably the best thing that you can do for your skin and it's long term. I feel like most of the sunscreen that I knew growing up was like really thick and pasty and was just not pleasant to work with. But the good news is that nowadays there are a lot of really great, well formulated and lightweight Asian sunscreens on the market, so putting on sunscreen no longer has to be as big of a chore as it usually is. So my criteria when it comes to sunscreen is that it needs to be at least SPF 50, it needs to not leave a white cast on the skin, ideally it would be unscented, it needs to sink into the skin quickly, and also work well under makeup. So these might sound like high standards, but sunscreen is something that needs to be worn every single day, even if it's like cloudy or rainy, and just gotta make it an everyday thing to follow up with after moisturizer. So definitely want it to be comfortable on your skin. But the two that I want to share with you guys today are the Keep Cool Soothe Bamboo Sun Essence, as well as the Krave Beauty the Beet Shield Sunscreen. I really love the Keep Cool Sun Essence for its texture. It is so lightweight and it just sinks into the skin really quickly, and it tends to leave more of a matte finish. So if you do struggle with like shininess on your skin or oilier skin, I would definitely recommend this one, but it doesn't leave your skin dry either. And for the Krave Beauty one, I really love that one as well, but if you're looking for more of like a dewy finish or have drier skin, I would recommend that one instead. Alright, so those were all of the different steps and products that I would recommend if you're just starting out with your skincare routine. I also want to share some tips that I think might be helpful. First tip being introduce new products one at a time into your skincare routine. I definitely would recommend just slowly incorporating them in so you can see how each product works for your face versus potentially overwhelming and causing irritation by introducing like 5 new products at once. So definitely keep that in mind because then you can have a better sense of how your skin will react. Second tip I have is to just don't touch your face when you don't have to. I feel like this is really hard for some people. I know it's really easy to like subconsciously want to touch your face, but I feel like, at least for myself, I've trained myself to not touch my face like basically ever, and even if I do, it's just like grazing it ever so slightly. But you really just need to think about all like the bacteria that your hands are exposed to, like typing on your computer, on your phone, doorknobs, whatever. And if you're just like wiping that all over your face, just think about all the potential consequences that could have on your skin. And so don't touch your face if you don't have to. The third tip that I have would be to just change your pillowcase regularly. At least for myself, I pretty much change my pillowcase every time after I wash my hair, so at least like 1 to 2 times a week, just because if you really think about like how nasty that can be if you don't change it for like a long period of time, it's kind of like the same thing with like the nasty hands. Like there's just a lot of stuff that could be on there, whether it be like hair residue, oils, and like, you know, just a lot of stuff that you probably don't want all over your face. So definitely make an effort to change out your pillowcase at least once a week, and if possible as well, try and use a silk pillowcase. They're a lot more gentle on your hair and your skin, and just in general it won't absorb as much product, so your skincare will work more effectively. Silk pillowcases might sound a little bit bougie, but there are surprisingly affordable options out there, so I'll be sure to link them down below if you're interested. And finally, the last tip that I want to talk about is to just make sure you're being gentle with your skin. There's no need to tug or pull around like the delicate areas or like slap your face or whatever it might be. Your skin deserves to be treated with some respect, so make sure you're not overly being harsh with it and just be gentle. Alright guys, that's all for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a better sense of how to go about starting a new skincare routine or new products that you want to try. I'll have everything linked down in the description box, and if you liked this video or want to see more skincare or fashion content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!